record cloud and it all and let's get this party started. Let me arrange that waiting room. And I did not forget how to do all this. Yeah. Um, and let's see. Spotlight. Give you the spotlight. All right. And got live stream going there. And I got my ticking from my chart, my stock charts going in the background. Let me turn that off. Oh, that's the other thing over here. Let me just turn that off. Okay, cool. All right. Streaming, recording, there, and yeah, I guess we're golden. So, wow. All right, cool. Let's get this party started. So, all right, guys, we are back in action. Tuesday meditations. All right, guys. Yeah, we're back in action after a couple weeks. So, as probably most of everyone has heard, well, Seth has had some things on his end kind of getting in some way. We switched it over to 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks ago we had something else come up, and yeah, it's been pretty crazy. But we're back in action, guys. So we're gonna still keep this on for every 2 weeks on Tuesdays. So today's the 6th. So the next one actually will be in 2 weeks on the 20th. And then the June 3rd, I hope. Oh, June 17th. I got family coming in, I think mid-June. So I'll have to check out that June 17th one. But cool, guys. As I said, we're back in action. So anyone new here, these are our Coherence Meditation Tuesdays. That, as I said, we hold these every 2 weeks on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern. And you can always find our live link over to our Zoom live session here over at I'm Awake Now What /calendar. Just scroll down a little bit. You'll find that Zoom link right there, and you can join directly in our Zoom. Doesn't mean you need to show your face and video or anything. You can leave that up to Seth and I, but we do appreciate you live. But if you have to go on Facebook or YouTube, hey, we love you just as much over there. So, but while you're over there, please do like, share, subscribe. Definitely share this out to friends and family who you think can benefit from these. We do encourage do these every day as a practice. And let's see. So every meditation we have a topic to go along with it. And the last topic was on, wow, April 8th, when life hits hard and the heart awakens. But this week we have you ever viewed the world through someone else's eyes? And hence this graphic right here. Just made that up today. Cool. All right. So, and if you would like to listen along with some background music, you could just check out right there, bit.ly/CM playlist. You just play some of those frequencies in the background. Certainly helps me. I've heard a lot that it's helped other people in comments and whatnot. But let's get this party started. So Seth, I love seeing your face again, man. How you been?
I'm great, man. Chaos, but you know what? It's like we talk about, it's like what we do here, we just face it and to the best of our abilities, we work through it. I mean, me personally, I'm doing great, but to have people in my inner circle who are just going down, and to be able to be present with them without taking on all of that, it's quite a job. It's really, really. But wait, hold on. It was a
Certainly
month
rough times.
ago that we did
Sorry,
this?
sorry.
Is that what you said? It was a month ago that we did our last
It
meditation?
was, yeah, I looked because I have these notes here. It's April 8th.
Wow.
So it's been that long. Well, I mean, because we switch it every 2 weeks, and then we had some things come up, you and I both,
Yeah.
just 2 weeks ago. So this is 2 weeks later now.
Makes sense. Okay. And yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna do. I'm gonna do more spontaneous meditations and
Yeah,
live
and
streams.
I've seen that you've actually been posting some videos lately, so both on Facebook and I think YouTube. So if anyone is not on the Facebook page, just go over to facebook.com/groups/ I'm awake now what, and be sure to join there. So, and then of course, join Zet's personal page, right?
Yeah.
Have all those
But we're
updates there
doing it.
too.
We're getting the word out there. It's been 2 years. Wow. It's
Keep it
amazing, actually.
going.
Yeah. Well, all right. So for tonight, this is something that we may have even done this before. I know that I've had different versions of this topic, and but it's a really important one, especially for me. It just came up a couple days ago where I was texting to a friend. I was all excited about something, and he got triggered by it and got really upset. And I was like, why does he feel like that? And so I did basically what the title of this is, to the best of my ability. I tried to empathize with whatever it was that he was feeling so that rather than me taking it personally, by having empathy, by understanding someone else's point of view, that can disarm a lot of that stuff, and then we don't hang on to it for so long. But also, it's not just humans, our species. I've done this so many times, and I'm sure other people have too. But, when you're out in nature, hiking by the ocean, somewhere where you just love to be, and a bird or whatever, some little furry creature runs by, or you have a moment. Like I had a moment with a fox that actually lives in my backyard. It was awesome. Just sitting there staring at each other. And my cat was staring too, and everyone just staring. And I'm like, I'm opening my heart. I'm toning very, very gently. I'm like, because when my cat purrs, I've been able to get a tone that matches her purr exactly. And we do it every day, multiple times a day. She just comes up, and I feel great. She feels great. And we do it often. But when you look at the world or perceive things from an animal's perspective, in many ways, that's really, really powerful to do because their mode of perception is so different than ours because they're not out of tune with reality. They're almost like perfectly made for exactly what they are doing. And they're pretty much all there, all their specialties, like, the way they hunt, the way they look, all that stuff is like precision based. Whereas we're functioning on such a tiny bit of perception compared to what we have the potential to be. And last week I did a post because I was reading through a bunch of stuff, and they said there's a ratio between the conscious mind, and he calls it the non-conscious, which is cool. I actually like hearing that instead of subconscious or so the ratio is 1 to billions. So that means the conscious mind is the one, and the billions are the non-conscious, which means that, I mean, when you think about that, it's like there's no way you can really think about it because by virtue of just being aware of that, you have no choice but to either shut it down and not pay attention or open up to it and consider the possibilities. And so here we are as these beings, and we all have this untold potential, and probably now more than who knows how many ancestral generations we've had. Now we're actually being brought to a point in our own perceptual awareness where there's a real opportunity for not the masses, not yet, but there's a lot of potential for us, those who are focusing on that billions of non-conscious, those of us who we kind of recognize each other, we jive, we vibe, and that by virtue of that, like we role model it, right? Like I'm doing what I do and you're doing what you're doing to keep up your spiritual hygiene or energetic hygiene or emotional, whatever. But if I'm doing it and you're doing it, then that means we're showing each other back and forth by example, by energy. And then that opens up. We'll get going in a second. I just want to, by doing that, because yeah, we do the inner work, right? A whole bunch of us do the inner work, but the next level of inner work is relationship. Because even the idea that social indoctrination creates narcissism and many people who are loving, caring individuals, almost everybody in modern society has narcissistic traits because we have been taught to like be like me, this is what I want, me. And it's not even a big deal. Just how it is. But obviously it's not sustainable. And so for those of us who are me, as far as the self work goes, the inner work, that's great. We're making choices to do that. But after me, after the inner work, after I get really good at being in these high level states of conscious awareness, that next thing, that next evolutionary leap is relationship. My relationship to you, you to me, community. It just goes on and on and on. So, what we're going to do tonight is a way to enter that because when you feel empathy for somebody else without being triggered, or if they get triggered, you're like, no, I'm taking the high road. I'll do whatever I can to help heal this situation. But, and sometimes that means taking a break, but we are going to do this because the next levels by having empathy and compassion and understanding and respect for others, that paves the way for the next leap or the evolutionary bounce where we have the ability to evolve. So with that said, let's get comfortable and you can be lying down, you can be sitting down, wherever you are, just acknowledge that you're safe and that you can take this time that we're spending together to go within, to let go of all the different polarities that are competing for our attention in the outer world. We can forget all about that for our time together here. And so once you get settled in place, see if you can get symmetrical, meaning keeping your spine straight, your arms even, just as even as you can. And if you can't, don't worry. Or if it hurts, then don't worry about that. Don't do it. But because ultimately, when we practice and we stay in these more symmetrical states of being, our bone marrow, our bones, they are literally liquid crystals our whole being is. And when there's symmetry, then there's greater flow of this living bioelectromagnetic superintelligence that each of us are, that we are all made from, but that we have temporarily forgotten until recently. And some of us are beginning to remember that who we are, our personality, and what we are, this superintelligence. Who we are is the one in that ratio. What we are, the non conscious, is the billions. So all of us here are choosing to take that one seemingly little bit of who we are to begin to become more conscious of what we are. And I'll tell you what, just to be able to even give this a shot, just to have been born, no matter how long you've been here, to be in these bodies and to get to a point where you're able to realize how fortunate we are to be able to explore ourselves as we are. Because obviously, most people, the masses, are focusing on everything but that. And so, in that way, we are going against the flow of our fellow species, but at the same time, we are being supported by the natural flow of the physical earth beneath our feet, the ever expanding cosmos everywhere in all directions. When we get in tune with that, then everything that our species has normalized to have narcissistic traits, to want to focus your attention on things that ultimately, do we really need a lot of that stuff? Not really. And so together we are reprioritizing our values and we're supporting one another in doing that, which creates more power, more natural coherence. And this is where things really begin happen. So you're laying down or you're sitting down. Maybe you're getting symmetrical or maybe not, but it doesn't matter. And relax the muscles in your face. And once you relax those muscles, allow yourself to relax the rest of your body. You could relax it all at once. You could relax it starting the top of your head and working your way down. However you choose to relax is your choice. And so we are relaxed. Our body is relaxed. And we bring our attention to breathing. And it's just slow and gentle. But when we bring our attention to breathing, yes, of course, we can modulate it. We can choose to breathe slower and deeper. And at the same time, we are being breathed, meaning that breathing is an involuntary process. It's happening whether we are conscious of it or not. And so when we bring our voluntary awareness and we focus it on this involuntary practice or function of breathing, and we choose to do that, we create a bridge of voluntarily focusing on an involuntary response or function, in this case, breathing. And by a bridge, it means that we, by choice, are bringing our awareness to a point where we're beginning to bridge, to reconnect our conscious and non conscious self. And as you observe and feel yourself breathing, pick up on little nuances like the way the air feels when you inhale. Maybe it's kind of tickling your nose, or maybe you're just feeling the air going in and out of your body. and you choose to recognize even seemingly insignificant things like this, we start to become aware that it's not insignificant at all for us as the individual, as these people becoming aware of this profound miracle of super intelligence that's already there, and that we are choosing to know more intimately. So your body's relaxed. You're aware of your breathing, and you recognize the profundity of it. And you can put an inner smile on your face and feel it in your heart. Or if you think about a puppy or a kitten or something funny, whatever it is that makes you feel elevated, feel that. You can also take one of your hands and putting on your heart. We want to create a simple but sustained connection from your relaxed body to your aware breathing and to that uplifted feeling that's in your heart that you're becoming more and more intimate with these three simple foundations that once they congeal or reconnect, that becomes a foundation to further deepen knowing yourself as these billions of non conscious awareness that is yours. It has been given to you, to each of us. And if that means a religious figure to you, or if it means just some beyond imaginable creative energy, whatever you call that part of yourself, it is yours. You are an extension of this massive, untapped well that goes so deep that it eventually starts to become without end. We are that individually, personally, and collectively, not just as a species, but intermingled with all species. Just like a forest where it seems like there's all these separate trees, but under the ground, their roots are all commingled, along with so many other unrelated species, but they are related in the sense that they are sharing relationship with each other. And the most healthy relationships begin to really crystallize when there's direct and clear communication. So your body's relaxed, your breathing is deeper. That little puppy has got your heart opened up. And just as the metaphor of what appears to be different trees and bushes, under us, in us, though things appear to be separate, they are connected. And maybe like a forest has actual physical connection between roots and mycelia, but there's also unseen connections, meaning energy, very super intelligent energy that knows how to communicate. And if we develop our perceptual awareness so that we start becoming conscious of how interconnected we are, we would begin to perceive it as a web of life. Meaning that everything is completely connected to everything else. And of course, that's scary to some of us, probably even to all of us, because most of us couldn't imagine how we could be connected to the atrocities and tragedies taking place. We couldn't ever imagine that we are connected to that. But we are. And instead of allowing whatever it is external to you, wars, chaos, all of that, rather than letting your fear of it consume you, just by virtue of our own awareness, we can put a boundary up and observe whatever evil or fear or whatever it is out there, and we can choose to witness it from a balanced, empowered state of awareness that is interconnected not only to everything and everybody here in this human world, but it is connected to everything, everywhere. The web of life, the universe, the multiverse, the origins of where that comes from. It is all interconnected. And when we can get stable internally and connect with others who are also doing that, we have the ability to see beyond the surface, to witness whatever it is that's creating such a ruckus. And aside from those who are intentionally doing harm to others, just by us observing that, we can see so many who many are innocent. They just got caught up in something terrible, but they need our empathy, or they could benefit from our compassion. So your body's relaxed. You're feeling the air come in and out of your nose and or mouth. Despite what we're talking about, you feel that little baby's giggling in your heart, and you're standing your ground. And maybe it's not your job to focus on these big collective messes. Maybe the one you need to feel empathy for is somebody directly in your life, a child, a partner, someone or groups in local communities. The way that we use language, the way we've been taught to use it, is to be defensive, meaning when we open our mouth and we express something that really means something to you as the individual, but that the one that you're communicating with doesn't see it like you do. And so they reject it. And to be rejected like that brings our defenses out. And this has been going on for who knows how long. A lot of this stuff are things that we learn in elementary school. We are taking this sacred energy of super intelligence that knows how to operate our body, and we're creating defensive energy from it because we simply don't know ourselves, even in only a tenth of amount of how it is possible and how capable we are at knowing ourselves greater, deeper, without any meaning. Just allow yourself to be where you are. You don't need words or language, especially mine. But all that I'm really doing is pointing to you so that you remember that this is you. And after who knows how many generations of living in a defensive mode, in this lifetime, we have this opportunity to do what no one or very few before us were able to do. And that simply is just allow ourselves to be aware of what this energy that's causing our heart to beat is. And yes, there's energy. It's throughout all the systems of our body, causing our heart to beat. And who knows how many other voluntary connections and systems are all working together. It is all of that. And to create this balance between it all, that prepares us to know the origin of what this energy is that's allowing each of us to be in these bodies. And once you begin to really know yourself as soul, as super genius intelligence, as the life force that as we live and breathe, it's allowing us to do that. And despite all of our struggles, our pain, our trials and tribulations, despite all of that, we are being granted this miracle of life. And to pay attention to that, then that starts paying attention to you. And when you are consciously interfacing with you, your personality, and the energy of you that's allowing you to have a personality, when you give your attention to that, it starts to give its attention back to you. And the more that this intimacy occurs, the more this bridge between awareness and unawareness becomes unified. And with all of this, when you know yourself or are beginning to know yourself like this, then no matter how much somebody is triggering you, or no matter how much you are witnessing the tragedies, from this place of inner knowing, you can look or witness or observe all of that with compassion, with empathy. And maybe it's somebody who's a lot closer to you, a friend, a family member. Maybe they are just bothering the heck right out of you. And you are super triggered. If you can bring your awareness of connection to those points where somebody's triggering you, and you can choose to take the high road. Even if they're not able to. And the more you do that, especially with others who you're close to, like family members, when you keep taking the high road, you extinguish all of this inflammatory treatment that's tied back to who knows how many ancestors before us. We have the opportunity to close those cycles of avoiding what deep down we know we're not able to avoid. Deep down, we know that nobody gets a get out of jail free pass. We are in time. We are each doing time. And it's because of that that we almost instantaneously can remember and know ourselves as timeless, as infinite, universal awareness of something that has formed from nothing. And that through its commingling, its mycelia, its connection from the roots, so too is our relationship to this world. And when you can view others' pain, trauma, drama, and their love and their optimism, when you can put themselves as not something looking to derail you because you're aware that these steps are so liberating, and we do not end with our skin. If you have a heartbeat and a brain in your head, as well as plexes, tons of neurons scattered all throughout your being, all of that is creating energy beyond your body, around your body. And with each beat of your heart, we are being given the opportunity to, just like when you take a little rock and you throw it into a perfectly calm pond and it ripples. Not just our heartbeat does that. The entirety of all that we are is doing that. And the more you begin to remember that, then feeling compassion, empathy, care, appreciation, respect, all that just starts coming to you naturally because it's already there. Each of us is becoming reacquainted with it, and we're choosing that. For those who want to stay in a meditative or whatever state of being you're in, you can leave the call or hang up. And with everybody else, before we come into a more waking state, think of or feel or use your intuition and or instinct to think about somebody or groups of people, animals, forests, microbacteria. Practice feeling empathy and compassion for it or for them. Because when you do that, everything that is already connected starts to become visible to these dormant perceptual abilities that are waking up, that are allowing us to know ourselves as we truly have the potential to be. And what a blessing that we get to do this together. So, as you begin to feel or think or intuit whoever or whatever needs your empathy, just plant that seed and remind yourself to do it a little bit or a lot every day. And the closer you pay attention to it, the more you will know that you have successfully planted that seed, nourished it, and cared for it. And it's expressing that care back to you, whether you want it or not, whether you're totally accepting of it or indifferent. It's all about you rising above the conditions of your conditioning. And each step, however great or small, brings us all to a more connected place, and that influences our world. And so when you're ready, you can start tapping the top of your forehead, tapping down your face, or you can get your hands nice and hot, rub them together, put them over your eyes, create darkness, and let those glands that are already in you, let them sense whatever is in the dark. We have a gift, each and every one of us. Might as well exercise it, take care of it, create better health. Greg, thank you. As always, so appreciate you. Man,
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Seth. And yeah, I mean, it's great to get back into these sessions because I've been just like I've been saying, I've been in the rat race, and I've been on that hamster wheel, but it's good to kind of just take some time off for yourself too. But one
yeah.
thing though, I should have actually made this a fox, right? And one question for you. What does the fox say?
Which fox? Now go ahead, tell me.
Mew, 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 mew. You don't know that song? Oh, geez, I'm gonna send you
I
the
might.
URL.
You'll have to send it to me better.
What
Work on
does
the
the
harmonies
fox
here.
say? Mew, mew, mew. Me, 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 me. Okay.
It's getting more
Everybody,
familiar now.
everybody's gonna be thinking of that the rest of the day. Anyway, great. Thank you everyone for attending. I guess we'll see you again in 2 weeks, right?
Yep,
So
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll be doing spontaneous stuff too. So,
Yep. And definitely join that Facebook group, guys. And if you haven't already, join the email newsletter. Just go ahead to I'mAwakeNowWhat.com, and after a couple seconds, you'll have a pop-up window and you just type in your email address. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see
all
you again.
right.
2 weeks.
Love you guys. Thank
Love you.
you.